Right now, Tesla is testing cars with no steering wheel, no pedals, and in some cases, no driver at all, on real public roads across the US. And at the same time, Elon Musk just hinted at a brand new vehicle, something he says is cooler than a minivan. So here's the real question: is Tesla just building a bigger Model Y? Or are they quietly replacing the idea of what a car even is? And more importantly for you, does this next Tesla actually change how you should think about buying, owning, or even using a car over the next few years? Let's break it down. Let's start with a simple question. What exactly is Tesla's next vehicle? Images have been circulating online of a wrapped vehicle sitting inside a shipping crate at Giga Texas. Many people assumed it was the Model YL, the extended wheelbase, 6-seat version Tesla launched in China back in August 2025, which has since rolled out to Thailand and is confirmed for Australia and New Zealand. But when you look closely at the proportions, the stance is wider, the rear sits taller, and it doesn't cleanly match anything Tesla currently sells. Then in late March 2026, Elon Musk dropped a reply on X: "Something way cooler than a minivan is coming," and the speculation exploded. A few days later, he replied noted to a user suggesting a vehicle with 3 rows of seats and 3 rows of doors. Classic Musk defined the problem space. Let the internet fill in the blank. So what could it be? 3 candidates have emerged. The first is the Robovan, an autonomous electric van capable of carrying up to 20 passengers. First unveiled as a concept at Tesla's We Robot event in October 2024. Tesla's chief designer Franz von Holzhausen has publicly confirmed he's been inside the vehicle, and the company estimates its travel cost at just 5 to 10 cents per mile per passenger. The second is the Cyber SUV, a Cybertruck-derived SUV body that has been rumored for years and would be faster to bring to market by leveraging the existing platform. The third is simply a U-spec version of the Model YL, though Musk himself has said that may never happen. Tesla has even started hiring for a new prototype vehicle, signaling that, whatever this is, it has moved beyond concept into active development. Most people hear bigger Tesla and think more seats, more space, better for families. That's the natural reaction. But here's the thing: Tesla stopped thinking about cars that way a while ago. Traditional automakers build around segments: sedan, SUV, truck, minivan, each one designed around a lifestyle. Tesla, increasingly, designs around one question: how does this vehicle perform as an autonomous unit? To understand why that matters, you have to look at what's already happening on the ground. The Cybercab is no longer a concept. It's real. On February 18, 2026, Tesla announced that the first Cybercab had been built at its Austin facility. It's a 2-passenger vehicle with no steering wheel and no pedals, planned to support only autonomous operation, with a range of about 200 miles and a battery capacity of 35 kilowatt-hours. The target price sits around $25,000, roughly half what a base Model Y costs today, and the production line is unlike anything Tesla has built before. Musk described the manufacturing process as closer to a high-volume consumer electronics assembly line than a traditional car factory, with a theoretical cycle time of 1 unit every 10 seconds. There are regulatory hurdles. U.S. motor vehicle safety standards were written with human drivers in mind, so Tesla may need exemptions for a car with no steering wheel and no pedals. Some analysts expect the company to offer optional steering wheels and pedals to satisfy regulators, along with a small optional rear seat to accommodate 4 passengers instead of 2. But the direction is clear. Tesla isn't building the Cybercab because it wants to compete with Waymo. It's building it because it wants to own the economics of urban mobility. Meanwhile, Tesla's Robotaxi service, which launched in Austin in June 2025 using Model Y vehicles with human safety monitors, began limited unsupervised operations by January 2026 and had logged nearly 700,000 paid miles by early February. Expansion to 7 more U.S. cities: Dallas, Houston, Phoenix, Miami, Orlando, Tampa, and Las Vegas is confirmed for the first half of 2026. But there's a question a lot of people are quietly asking right now: if robotaxis are coming, should I even bother buying a Tesla at all? It's a fair thing to wonder. If you can eventually summon a Cybercab for a few cents per mile, why commit $40,000 or $50,000 to a vehicle sitting in your driveway for 22 hours a day? The math starts to feel uncomfortable the moment you actually run it. Here's the honest answer. It depends entirely on how you use a car. If you drive predictably office, school, grocery store, the same 5 routes on repeat, a robotaxi network genuinely changes your calculus. You may not need to own a vehicle at all, or at least not one as expensive as what Tesla currently sells. That shift is real, and it's closer than most people realize. Tesla's robotaxi service is already live in Austin, has logged nearly 700,000 paid miles, and is expanding to 7 more U.S. cities in the first half of 2026. This isn't a 2030 projection. It's happening now. Enter the vehicle Tesla has been quietly building toward for years, an affordable car around $25,000. The community has called it the Model 2, though Tesla internally refers to it as the next generation vehicle, or simply NV. The $25,000 price point is widely seen as the threshold where EV adoption could genuinely go mass market the moment electric cars stop being a lifestyle choice for early adopters and become the obvious default for anyone buying a new car. That's a much bigger deal than another performance upgrade or a new trim level. What makes this vehicle interesting isn't just the price. It's the philosophy behind it. Tesla has reportedly designed it around simplicity, fewer components, fewer things that can break, lower maintenance costs over time. The goal isn't to give you a stripped-down Model 3. It's to give you a car that costs less to own across its entire lifespan, not just at the point of purchase. Broad availability is realistically expected in 2027, with limited deliveries possibly beginning in late 2026. As with all Tesla timelines, some skepticism is warranted. The company has a well-documented history of optimistic estimates, but the direction is clear, and the demand is real. So zoom out for a second and look at what Tesla is actually building across all of these products at once. A Cybercab for urban trips you don't want to drive yourself. A robovan for moving groups of people efficiently. A $25,000 entry-level car for anyone who still wants to own and drive. And an upgraded Model Y for families who need more space right now. Each one serves a different person with a different relationship to transportation. Quick question for you. If Tesla's robotaxi came to your city, would you still buy a car? Comment 1 if you'd drop car ownership entirely. Comment 2 if you'd still want your own vehicle. And tell us why we read every single one. If you watched this far, you already know we don't do shallow content here. If you want more of this, hit subscribe and help us reach 31,311 subscribers. We're almost there. And every subscriber genuinely moves the needle for a small channel like ours. Now, sit back in your chair because we have more Tesla models coming. And the Model Y is quietly splitting into 2 different products. In Dallas, rows of new Model Y vehicles have been spotted on what appears to be a robotaxi staging lot, all carrying Texas plates tied to Tesla's testing operations. The telltale detail: these cars have rear camera washers. Consumer Model Ys don't have them. Tesla is only adding that hardware to vehicles meant for fleet use. Because a dirty camera on a driverless car running 18 hours a day isn't an inconvenience, it's downtime. And downtime is lost revenue. That's a profound shift. Your personal car is a depreciating asset. You pay for it, drive it, and it loses value. But a vehicle in Tesla's autonomous fleet is something else entirely, a unit that earns money every mile it travels, with no driver to pay and no shift that ends at midnight. Which brings us back to the bigger vehicle and why size suddenly matters in a completely different way. If you're thinking about this as a family car purchase, you might ask, does it have enough legroom? Does it fit a stroller? Reasonable questions. But if you think about it the way Tesla does as a revenue-generating asset running around the clock, the math changes completely. A standard sedan carries 1 or 2 passengers per trip on average. A 6-seat SUV or van-style vehicle carries 4, 5, or 6. Same route, same energy cost, significantly higher revenue per mile. Multiply that across a vehicle that never needs to sleep. And you're no longer talking about a car, you're talking about a business. Tesla's VP of Vehicle Engineering, Lars Moravy, has confirmed that Robotaxis will come in various shapes and sizes, with the Cybercab making up the majority of volume. The Robovan, or whatever Tesla ends up calling this larger vehicle, fills a completely different role. It's not trying to beat the Honda Pilot or Toyota Highlander. It's going after public transit, airport shuttles, and ride-share pools. The rest of Tesla's lineup is moving in the same direction. The Tesla Semi, long delayed, is now in real-world operation with several hundred units on the road. It runs on 4680 battery cells designed for up to 1 million miles of lifespan, uses a 48-volt electrical architecture, and is reportedly priced around $100,000 less than competing electric trucks. It's no longer a proof of concept, it's a commercial product. And even small details reveal the bigger pattern. Tesla has been filing patents for a zoned heating windshield that selectively warms only the areas around cameras and sensors, rather than the entire glass. For a personal car, that's a minor efficiency gain. For a vehicle running 20 hours a day as part of a fleet, every watt saved compounds across thousands of miles. So when Tesla reveals this new model, don't just look at the size, the seats, or the specs. Look at what it's actually built to do. Is it just a bigger SUV, or is it something designed to run all day, every day, with no driver at all? And more importantly, if that shift really happens, does it change how you think about owning a car in the first place? Let me know what you think. Do you see this as a Model Y upgrade, or something much bigger? If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because this story is just getting started.